Did you see what just happened? Oh.
You're good? Thanks, buddy. Card full.
I just erased the entire card.
Uh-huh. Except you didn't.
That's what I was doing on the computer the entire time.
That's what you thought you were doing.
100% is what I was doing.
100% not doing it.
I just erased the entire card.
It's cool.
That's what I was doing that entire time.
I'm sure you did a good job too, buddy.
I don't know why.
I know why.
Watch. I'm gonna show you.
Alright.
Watch, I'm gonna show you.
Dude, your computer is so dirty. It's probably, look at all this like dust and muck. That's why it didn't work.
Did you say filth muck?
Dust and muck.
That's my favorite line from Fletch.
Yeah, there's muck all over these windows.
Filth muck all over this window.
Yeah.
It's all ball bearings these days. What? Come on.
You are a mess. just a mess. It's 11:30. We ain't even said one damn word.
Wait, but I did erase all this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a dick.
Sorry, John.
Sorry, John.
Let's apologize to our viewers, have we?
Huh?
We should apologize to the viewers, have we?
There's schmutz.
This makes no difference.
There's a tremendous buildup. What?
There's schmutz and muck on my sweet game table.
There's schmutz and muck?
Yeah, schmutz right here.
Schmutz and muck actually sounds like maybe.
I need like a pool table brush.
A
That's what I
felt
need
brush?
to buy. Yeah, there's schmutz.
Schmutz.
You're a schmutz.
You're schmutz.
You are.
You are. There's nothing on this entire thing. There's nothing on the card. 0 things. I'm not sure why it would be full. Yeah, there's 0 things on the card. I mean, don't tell me I'm not retarded. Card. It's in the stereo folder. Folder 1. 0 things. There's 0 things in the card. It says card full.
I'll bet it works now, buddy.
I know, right? I mean,
You're good at this stuff, man.
It said there's 0 things in the card. Well, watch.
Now it's gonna work. You did it.
I did it before.
No, you just did it now. You did it nice.
What the shit is happening?
That whole thing is staying on, but I'm not editing that out.
No, I wouldn't edit it out. What? Hold on, guys. Look, Freddie, look.
Don't show anybody anything on your computer
I'm
that could
showing you.
make you get hacked.
Look, card goes in.
Uh-huh.
Card. All the folders. Empty.
Let me look.
Empty.
Let me look.
Yeah, look away.
Let me look.
And that's the show, everybody.
Go ahead.
That's actually good.
Well, I don't know how to
Look
do
right
it.
in there. It's in the stereo folder.
Where?
Okay, right there. Stereo.
This bottom one?
Yep. Hit
These
any of
guys?
those folders.
All right, I'll hit this folder number 1.
Come on, folder number 1. Empty.
I don't see anything.
No, hit that back button.
Well, maybe if we scroll down
Okay.
or change the font.
Good idea.
Don't be mad at me, dude. Don't get hot, bro.
I don't know
I
what.
just think it's funny.
What the?
I don't know what to tell you, man. What the shit?
What the fuck did the douchey? Okay, it just doesn't make.
John, should I do a Josh Wolf impression?
Yes. I've never seen your Josh Wolf impression.
Which word should I use?
You know what? It's how much an elephant weighs.
Ask me how much.
Now, just so you know,
Ask me how much elephant weighs. I'm not gonna be able to do
it sounds like you guys have worked on this one.
On the way to Comic-Con, I almost crashed the car. All right, ask me how much an elephant weighs.
How much an elephant weighs?
It weighs a ton. I almost crashed my car because it was like, we're driving, it's just mad quiet. And this song on the radio's over, and John just goes, hey, ask me how much an elephant weighs. I go, what? How much? And when he did it, I knew it was. I was like, "Oh my God, I've never heard a Josh Wolf impression."
Oh my
It weighs a
God.
ton. Dude, you're crying, bro.
Oh, so funny. Okay, let's see if this helps us. Ready? Folder 1, which is where that would be.
Yeah, buddy. This time, success time.
Okay,
I'm feeling good.
loading.
Yeah, buddy. No data.
Oh shit!
Is it working?
It's working.
Nah, man. This is. You know what this is gonna be?
The best podcast we've ever done.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then at the end, you're gonna text me in like an hour, and you're gonna be like, "Yeah, it didn't record it."
No, it's recording.
It looks like it. But if you guys watch the video we release on Thursday, you will see the last 10 minutes.
We were both like, huh.
Like,
Oh, it just said card full again.
told you.
What is going on with this fucking thing?
Why don't you just buy a new card instead of
This is a
trying
new
to
card.
recycle old shit?
This is a new card. I think it's this.
You think that the podcast maker is broken?
Well, it's a new card, man. There's nothing on the card.
No, that card's full.
But the other card was just full. The one we had 150 hours on. This one,
That one's full.
it is now.
Yeah, it's full. How you doing, buddy?
You know what? Actually, I'm doing really well.
It's fine, man. We still got microphones right
Can I
here.
tell you why I'm doing well?
Tell me why.
A new change in attitude.
Yeah? Superior attitude. See if one of those works.
Holy shit.
One of those is gonna
Hey, John.
hack the system and hack the machine.
John, how long have you been working on that Josh Wolf impersonation?
When was Comic-Con?
Comic-Con was like 2 weeks ago.
Well, it was like so it'll be 2 weeks because that's the day I discovered it.
Will you work on one for Controlled Chaos?
Oh, he'll crush it.
I mean, I can do
It'll be so good.
You don't have to do it tonight. You can do it whenever you feel like you have the best one.
I mean, I can do an impression, but there's just a ton of things I can do.
You just I never realized it, but the cadence that you have,
Yeah.
you pick one word that's more important than all the other words in the sentence, and you give that word way more vowels than it originally had. So if it's no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
And that is
Okay, hold
awesome.
on.
Is that working? No way.
It's working. Okay.
So far.
So far, this card.
This is going to be the greatest video ever because there are going to be like 8 different times where you go, fucking card full!
Guys, okay, so please go look at this.
On Thursday, we'll release the video.
You're gonna
This is
wanna
the
watch the
second
video.
time we've now said this.
Yeah.
But the first time you've heard it on the podcast if this one works.
I think maybe we should lift a little clip of it and show everybody just the.
I think we can
prowess.
maybe pull that off.
So guys, we've been here for how long? Trying to get the.
How long? Oh, about 20 minutes.
We've learned a lot though. One, we learned that John Lee Brody has a Josh Wolf impersonation.
Which you can hear if you watch the video. That'll make him one. That'll make him one.
It's called
Everybody wants to hear the wolf impression.
And that was like a whispering Randy Macho Man Savage right there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Randy Macho Man Savage is a whispering.
I don't think he could whisper.
What was his normal voice?
That was his voice, brother. Like, yeah, that's how he sounded, man.
Well, this first 20 minutes was me
Dude, this is still working.
trying to figure out why
Don't touch it, don't touch it.
this card that I bought doesn't work. But now John Lee Brody once again
With a big time save.
as usual. But technological stuff it just doesn't seem to.
I think we handled it with dignity and grace.
Well, that's the only way we could do it. I mean, there's
There's no shame in tapping out.
No, I tap out with technology.
If
all
you're
the
beaten,
time.
look, if Conor McGregor can tap out, I can tap out.
But by the way, Conor McGregor is going to get his ass whooped by Khabib.
Maybe
He hasn't fought in how long?
Okay, look, there's a strong case to say that, and you're probably right. But Khabib's striking is novice at best and base level at worst. He won the title fighting Al Iaquinta. All due respect to anyone with the balls to get in the ring and fight, but Al Iaquinta's technique is he's tougher than about 90% of the guys in the division. It's not his boxing, it's not his kickboxing, it's not his jiu-jitsu, it's not his wrestling, okay? Like, those aren't going to be the things that beat you. He's just a lot tougher and hits a lot harder than a lot of people. But he wasn't even in the top 10 when Khabib won that title. And Khabib's striking, granted, he didn't have to worry too much, was horrible. Horrible.
So what is his strength?
He is brawl and maul, which is grabs you, world-class wrestler, sambo wrestler, but mainly a wrestler. He doesn't do too many submissions, not anymore. Tackles you, and then he punches you a ton from the ground. Where he's not on top of you, he's on the side of you. So it's not the leverage to knock you out. They just hurt. There's that old Richard Pryor joke where he goes, he didn't even beat him up, he just beat him often.
Yeah.
That's Khabib.
Yeah.
Like, you see...
So he doesn't have a one-strike knockout punch.
I mean, it's the fight game, so I'm sure he has a couple of those, but not against, like, top-shelf people. Like,
does Conor have a good chin?
Conor has a good chin, and Conor has amazing striking, but he has zero wrestling. Zero. What he needs to be working on is takedown defense or how to punish somebody charging in, which I believe will be more his style. Let me allow him to shoot at the leg, use my footwork to step back, and then crack him with the left hand.
Liddell used to do that, right? Not left hand, but didn't Liddell...
Well, Liddell's takedown defense was like second
His
to
takedown
none.
defense
People
was really
forget,
good, right?
like, he was a JUCO wrestler, but a sick JUCO wrestler. So he knew his shit. Whereas Conor needs to worry more about not getting taken down or the quickest way up if I am taken down. He doesn't need to worry about submissions off his back or anything like that. His chance to win is catching Khabib coming in, which I think he has a pretty damn good chance of doing. But the first point you made is the most brutal one to my argument, which is he hasn't fought in 2 years. So
if you told me he had
It's
been
tough.
fighting, I would be like, I think he's got a shot for sure, because you know what else I don't know a whole lot about the fight game, but what I do,
you know more, you don't give yourself enough credit.
well, I appreciate that, but the one thing that when I watch Conor, I'm like, when he throws a punch, he's super accurate with those power punches.
That's because he knows where you're going to be.
Right. So if you're still in sync, so say he'd been fighting for 2 years and he's got his rhythm, I'd be like, oh, I bet you he catches him with one or two. But
Yeah.
to be off by an eighth of an inch in the fight game.
I think he's good enough that even if he's off a little, he can still win.
Yeah.
I think his striking is that good.
Does he have power in both hands?
Yeah, but it's the left that you have to watch out for. He sets it up with a right hand, but he doesn't throw the stiffest jab. He throws a jab to disorient you, distract you, and then come through with the left. Or he'll throw a right hook to push you to your right, which is into his left.
But he is like Liddell. His game is not on the ground. He wants to knock you out standing up.
He does not have a ground game in any way, shape, or form. Chuck actually did, and doesn't get enough credit for it because of his wrestling. He was just a better kickboxer than everyone in the game back then, and had lead in his left hand, and that hook would just kill people. Just kill people.
You know, before I get into...
But they fought different. Chuck was orthodox.
Yeah.
Connor's southpaw, so they're very, very different fighters.
Before I get into the things that I wanted to talk to you about, this actually brings up another question for me about the UFC that I'm really curious about. Okay, so coming in, right, to the UFC, when UFC was a young sport, people mastered one thing. This was a judo guy.
It was to see who was better.
Right. And then as it started to blend into, he's still a judo guy, but he's learned this.
Yes.
And now people are going to MMA gyms where they're not learning one discipline.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that is better? Because I've always said, be great at something. Be the fucking best at something. And then make people adjust to that. Right? And that's not just for fighting.
Well,
But I don't want to be kind of good at everything. I want to be fucking great.
Well, that's
at
the
one
saying,
thing.
jack of all trades but master of none.
So-
and that's like a negative connotation
Is
to
it better for a fighter to be kind of good at everything, which is what an MMA gym does, to be good at MMA, or to be like, I'm the fucking best jiu-jitsu guy going, and I'm going to learn how to do this other stuff, but you're really going to have to beat me in my jiu-jitsu to beat me?
I think there are rare.
You know what I'm asking?
Yeah, I
Okay.
know exactly what you're asking. I think it's a great question. There are rare cases where a specialist can be successful. There's a fighter right now, I don't know, it's Israel Adesanya, I think is how you say his name, and he's a straight Taekwondo kickboxer. And he's had a lot of success. He just fought Brad Tavares, the Hawaiian kid, and beat his ass.
Mm-hmm.
He has no wrestling, no jiu-jitsu, no ground game whatsoever, and he hasn't been tested yet. But he's about to fight a real dude who's an all-American wrestler who's going to probably take him to the
down.
ground.
Right.
And we'll see what happens at that point. I don't know. So I'm not going to say yay or nay on the kid yet, because I just haven't seen his ground game ever be tested. And he's long and lanky and fast and athletic, so it's tough to test him because you're getting fucking peppered up and stung for your trouble.
Yeah.
So it's a bumpy road to get to his legs or his waist, you know what I'm saying? So there are times, like a Lyoto Machida, when he came in and was just using a straight karate technique style that was dominating guys. But I would say that's more like gimmick offenses in the NFL. They work for a little while, but then the game catches up with you real quick. Ronda Rousey is another example of that. Judo specialist. But once people learn how to defend what your best technique is, or can see what your worst technique is and can expose it, the Wildcat offense suddenly doesn't fly anymore. So now I would say the mixed martial artist is the superior being to the specialist. So if you're saying this top level, top shelf, whoever you think the best mixed martial artist in the world is against the top in their other profession, I'm taking the mixed martial arts person. If it's a full contact fight, meaning 8 points of contact,
Right.
grappling, everything. If you put an MMA fighter in a jiu-jitsu tournament, they're going to get murked because they're not taking it as much. Now, that's not always true. There are people who've done very, very well in jiu-jitsu tournaments, world Abu Dhabi champions who have done well in UFC.
Right.
But I think that the true mixed martial artist is the superior martial artist, which is a good segue into the main event over UFC if you want to talk about it.
Let's talk
A
about it.
Staples Center.
And then, so guys, what I want to, I learned, we're going to get into this right now, but I just want to let you, what's coming up is I learned an incredible life lesson, kind of two in one,
Nice.
that I've been slowly learning, but really, in an unfortunate way, learned one this past week.
Hard way sometimes has to happen though.
Yep. And then I want to talk about Mission Impossible.
Okay.
I went back and watched a bunch of the Mission Impossibles after this one. Man, first of all, anybody who said Leo could beat up Tom Cruise, let's not get back into it, but boy, were they wrong.
They were right. Yeah.
Did you see a picture of Leo recently with his titties? Solid B cup.
You ever see Butterbean fight?
Yeah, you know how much I like Butterbean. We've talked about this.
That's my man.
My man, Leonardo DiCaprio, you know what he looks like? You know those wind socks out in
Instead
front
of DiCaprio, bro, he's the Butterbean.
You know what? You know those wind socks out in front of the
Right.
fucking tire?
You want
That's
to talk
what he-
about Tom Brady's body real quick?
No. That's
Oh, okay.
terrible.
So you might want to lock that
That's-
shit up.
But I think Tom Brady could beat up Leonardo DiCaprio too.
Nah, I don't think Tom Brady's ever been in a fight in his life.
Yeah, you think Leonardo DiCaprio's been in a fight?
I do. Yeah, I do.
A one that he's won?
I do.
I don't. That noodle,
Okay.
that soft noodle.
I mean, I know he's been in fights. I know that for a fact. I know for a fact. I know for
With
a
his
fact.
little
We
Buddha-
grew up in the same
with his
time
Buddha
period.
belly?
Hey, man. You want to believe in the 50-year-old all-natural body? Then you believe in that.
Well, he's not natural.
I choose not to.
My man is not natural.
Nor is anything you see on screen.
But have you seen the movie yet?
No, I'll see it though.
Oh, you got it. Yeah,
Everybody
okay,
says
okay.
it's the best
Oh,
Mission Impossible movie.
My God.
Yeah.
My God. So I do want to talk about that.
I just like destroying your man crush because you crush so hard.
I actually don't. I think he's ridiculous. But when you watch the movie,
the characters, not him. His
Oh
characters.
yeah. I honestly think I've spoken to people who. Did I tell you I spoke to somebody who went to Tom Cruise's house for Sunday football?
Okay.
Did I ever tell you the story?
I don't know if you should.
It's-
If it's gossipy stuff, don't do it, because I don't do
It's
that.
not gossiping.
Okay.
Because the first question everybody has, I asked the guy, I go, so, just out of curiosity, what's he like? He goes, it's crazy. He goes, I ask every co-star he's ever had. That's the first question everybody gets, because he's so intensely private. He only lets you in to the front door, those first 3 rooms. You know what I mean? Nothing else. And I was like, I go, what was it like sitting at his house watching football? And he was like, you know what it was like? And I go, what? He goes, it was like a Bud Light commercial. I said, what do you mean? And he was like, it was like, you know when you watch on TV and you're like, where do they throw football parties like that? I'm like, yeah. He was like, Tom Cruise's house. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. He was like, it was like sitting in the living room for a Bud Light commercial. And I was like, my house has never been a Bud Light commercial. My house is like it's like a High Times commercial. Couple snowballs. Half-eaten sandwich, 3 dudes on the couch like this. Like, that's what... I wish I had a Bud Light commercial in my house. People jumping into the pool, having a good time. Ah! He said that's what the entire afternoon was like. I was like, not my house. He goes, no, not my house either. Even his football parties are better than Leonardo DiCaprio's.
I'm just going to keep Burt Reynoldsing you.
I love it. Hit me with the
I ain't jumping into that stuff, but
No,
you
there's
keep doing it.
There's no jumping.
No, you Dom DeLuise did quick and went and turned right, but I just at that point I was like, oh, he's doing the Dom DeLuise. I got to do the Burt Reynolds and just let him talk.
Dom DeLuise. Yeah.
Remember when he would just not say his line, and Dom DeLuise would be like, "This motherfucker ain't gonna say nothing.
By
He's
the way,
not gonna say nothing. Now I just gotta keep fucking talking."
You know, when we did comedy duos, that was one we forgot to put in there.
Oh yeah, but we're pretty shitty at that in general. Like
They were so good together.
once we drop our 4,
Yeah.
on the way home I have a different 4.
Yeah.
And then by the time I read social media, I'm like, oh yeah, those are all way better.
But that combination,
They were money, man.
They-
Captain Chaos.
they played so well off each other. It's so interesting. Like, I think Burt Reynolds.
Man, are we gonna
Yeah, we're
get into
get it.
what we're gonna
Let me
get
just say this.
into?
He doesn't get enough credit for his comedic timing.
God.
That dude's comedic timing.
He gets plenty of credit. I give it to him all the time.
Go, hit me.
All right. UFC main event. A lot of good fights. We won't get into Demetrius Johnson, Henry Cejudo too much, even though it was pretty epic that a guy finally lost his title and lost with the kind of dignity and grace that you hear people say they have, but in the moment they never have. And he could not have been more gracious and respectful. And it was somewhat a controversial fight. I think most people thought Henry won, but there are some people saying, hey, those rounds are closer than you think, and there could be something to that, but I thought Henry earned his championship. But the main event was the one everyone wanted to see, which was TJ and Cody. And people wanted to see this, especially the hardcore fans, because these two guys were coaches on The Ultimate Fighter, which is their sort of reality show. And they both coach a team, and there are fights every week, and the winner gets a UFC contract. But these coaches hated each other, TJ and Cody, because Cody used to train out of Team Alpha Male, which is in NorCal, with Cody, and he left with one of the striking coaches there, a guy named Dwayne Bang Ludwig, who used to be
Dwayne Bang?
He used to be in the UFC back in the day. He was one of the early sort of, not foundational players, but that next generation to come in. Great striker. Has a cool scientific philosophy on the fight game and movement and understanding where people are going to be and having your punch there instead of throwing it at where they are now. He defines accuracy, and I steal a lot from him as far as what accuracy really is. It's not about me being able to hit you where you are. It's about me being able to hit you where you're going to be. That's what's accurate. So it's really not about accuracy. It's about psychic powers. It's about anticipation and knowing and studying and research. So anyway, they called TJ a snake, a scumbag, a motherfucker. I mean, they went in on him. It was bleep, 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 bleep during the whole show. And Cody hates this guy. And people like to get behind Cody because he looks like the tougher guy. He's got tattoos on his fucking neck, all over his body, more like a gangster fucking dude. And TJ's the blonde hair with the part, so he's easier to hate. He's kind of a good-looking kid, pretty boy, so he's easier to hate. And so all the fans were on Cody's side, and they fight in the first fight. And in the first round, he puts TJ down, almost takes him out. TJ scrambles, gets out of it, bell rings, saves him. Everybody's like, oh, TJ's done. Second round comes out, Cody's cocky as fuck, which is his MO. That's how he stays motivated. So that's good. He should be. But it leaves you open. He lost concentration and got knocked the fuck out. So TJ becomes champion again. Sorry. So now this is the rematch. And everybody and I don't get into the UFC Twitter stuff anymore because they're more psychotic than Star Wars fans.
Are they?
Oh God, if you say like Khabib Nurmagomedov can't beat Conor McGregor, like it's literally like a religious cult. And maybe they think it's fanhood, it's not. Like they're psychotic about it. So I just don't talk about it anymore. But I didn't think Cody was gonna get him. I thought TJ would get him, and I thought it would be quick because he knocked him out. The kind of thing where you worry if someone has come back too quick, right? Even though he didn't, he took his time, but you still worry, right? So these guys fight.
How long in between fights?
A few months, more than 5 months, I think. But it's the first fight for both of them since the knockout. So they get in the ring, and I watched like the build up to it, and so I see Cody like watching tape on TJ, and they're saying, and they try to shit on Dwayne Ludwig's system, which clearly works. Like they're just shitting on it because he left, and they're mad he left, and TJ left, and they're mad he left. But they're going, yeah, it's a completely predictable system. Look how slow he is. And they're like, it's almost like scripted, okay? And I'm sitting there watching it, I'm like, that don't look slow to me, man. Like, and there he is knocking out your boys. So it felt like they were trying to build up the ego of their fighter again. And if that was the case, I was like, oh, he's in fucking trouble. And then Cody didn't talk shit the whole like building up to it at the press conferences and all that, which he always does. And he was saying, well, I'm more focused this time, which I don't buy that. I've said this to him a million times. People don't change. They just get older. Okay, who you are is who you are.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, wherever you run to, that's still you. Like you didn't escape your problems. You just left a great place and now you're in a new place.
Yeah.
And you're gonna make the same choices that you made in the last bad relationship you were in, and that's why he was like this or she was like that. And you're gonna do it again because people don't change. We change from within, right? And we're the only ones that can do that. Not our friends telling us how great we are and how slow our opponent is. So they fight again. First round, it's a first round knockout, spoiler. But they're moving around. Cody gets like a clubbing blow in, not one that would knock you out or concuss you, but it knocks TJ down because the kid is just so strong and big, dude, and long. So he gets leverage. The punch came from like Chicago, and the forearm hits TJ, and TJ's down.
Forearm shot.
But not hurt, just down.
Right.
He scrambles, he gets up, and then like I said, you make the same choices over and over. You make the same mistakes over and over. This guy throws a looping right hand. TJ throws a short right hand, catches him. Cody's gonna out-tough him. Throws another looping right hand. TJ's like, all right, boom, another short right hand. Hurts him. Now he's hurt and he's angry. He's not gonna cover up. That's just not who Cody Garbrandt is. Like he's going out on his shield or you're going out on yours. But he does not want a decision victory against anyone. Like he's dude, he's a fighter. Like he gets pissed at the refs when they stop it. He's that guy, right? And not because he's trying to save face. Because he's like, yo, let him knock me out if he's gonna, like he's that guy.
Yeah.
So he throws a third one, looping right hand. What his corner would call slow. TJ throws another short one. All right. Bink. It is.
Knocked him out.
Not out, because again, Cody's tough. But his legs are wobbly. He goes down. TJ jumps on him, throws 1,000 of those UFC right hands that you see everyone do when they grab him with one arm, and then brrr,
Yeah.
and they're not knockout type punches unless you catch the jaw loose, but they do damage. Cody gets up. He's super tough. TJ holds the clinch. Boom, Muay Thai knee right to the face. Now he goes back. The ref's running in, but he's behind TJ. TJ doesn't see it. He probably would have hit him even if he did see him. They got bad blood. Bang, bang, bang. 3 more big, like, haymaker
When
hooks.
he was down already?
No, up against the fence. Ref breaks it. Cody's, like, on the way down, but not down. The ref's holding him up, and he's like, fuck you, man. Let me fight.
You still want to fight?
Dude, that's why I love the guy. Like, I didn't think he would win.
What weight?
They're fighting at 135.
So I could take both those guys.
You know. No.
No, but like I got
Those
30,
those cardio hounds.
but I got like 30 pounds on them.
It doesn't matter, like, and you're being funny, but like, even if you knew your shit, like, they're cardio hounds. Look, there are UFC guys
And
that
I would
I've
never touch them.
There's UFC guys that I've rolled with, that I have better jiu-jitsu skills than. Straight up. Like, I'm seeing them put themselves in positions where I'm like, all right. And they're just like, nah, you're not getting that sub. And they will stubborn you, muscle you, or out-tough you if they don't have the technique. And they won't stop. Like, it's just a different level of athlete, and they've had a rougher life than maybe not you, but certainly than me. And the level of pain they're willing to take, I'm almost not even willing to distribute. So it's like, dude, you win.
100%. Anybody who's like, I could take a professional fighter. Here's the thing you forget. They get punched for a living. They're used to eating.
But the meathead response is, I've been hit before, I don't care.
Nope.
So, well, then answer that. Tell them why they're dumb.
You, first of all, you haven't been hit in the same way by somebody who is, one, knows where to hit you, when to hit you, and two, there is a certain level of ferocity.
But dude, I train MMA.
There's a certain, it's not your job. It's
He
like
he hit you with a
It's not your job. It's not your job because it's their job. So they're doing it 8 to 12 hours a day.
A day, bro.
You go to the gym with your buddy who you know you can beat up, and you pepper him because he's hungover.
Yo, you sum it up like every actor who says they box.
No, you go
that's what they do.
They go with someone in their entourage who knows they're not allowed to hit them. So they just stand up against it like, and you're like, yeah, you hit guy 20 times. He never threw a punch. Because every time you threw a fist, all he saw was his checkbook. Bink, boom,
brother. Look, I've boxed with Victor Ortiz.
Yeah.
I've been in the ring with like world champions, current and former. And I know how to fight. Like, I've trained martial arts since I was 3. I'm 42. I can't bring anything to the table that they either A, haven't already seen a million times, or B, don't have an answer for.
Listen, it's the same.
Period.
It's the same thing. It's a credit. Here's what I would say. It's a credit to the professionals. It's just like I say to people who sing karaoke or who decide that they're going to get on YouTube and be stand-ups. You think you can do it because the people who do it well make it look easy.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I wanted to be like Mike because the commercials were like, oh, all you do is jump and then you fly.
Yeah.
I still can't dunk.
Listen, I think the reason, and I could be 100% wrong, I think one of many reasons that people love Steph Curry is we look at his body type and we go, oh, I look like that guy.
Yep.
Which means I can do what he does.
It's why big men have never sold shoes in the NBA. Shaquille O'Neal had some of the lowest sneaker sales in the shoe company's history as far as athletes at that level.
Never.
But the guards, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Even Steph's old man shoes outsell Shaq's sweet ass high tops.
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. Like, unless you're a giant, you're not relating to Shaq. You're relating to Steph Curry, and I look at his body, and I'm like, man,
you're like, I could get a steal off him.
Yeah, no. And that's why.
Or like you said earlier.
When people say to me, and I always encourage people, by the way. People are like, and I hear more now than I ever have before because there are so many great stand-up comics. So people look at it, and there's so many you watch on YouTube. You're like, well, fucking, I can do that. Nope. No.
Telling you, if you see a good routine on YouTube, like you're seeing it one time, you're not realizing the amount of time, years, sometimes months, but usually years of work that have gone in to the video that goes up there. And like they say, everybody thinks they can do it. If everyone could do it, everyone would do it.
Hey, guess what? There is a joke that I used to tell, and I knew it was a good joke. I fucking knew it was a good joke. But the punchline that I was really digging into to save the joke, when I say joke, guys, I mean stories, wasn't landing.
I think I know which joke you're talking about.
And I knew I just needed this one line. So for a month on the road, so that's more than 20 shows, I tried 20 different punchlines.
That's sick.
Until I found them. And so you would never know. You may not even know if I had never changed a punchline, but I knew. And I knew and I knew that it changed the joke from a 7 to a 9, which live is a world of difference.
Josh,
Do you know what I mean?
9s aren't 10s.
9s aren't 10s. I don't give myself 10s. I give Chappelle 10s. I give Bill Burr 10s. I give Joe Rogan 10s. You know what I mean? I give those guys 10s.
Bro, I had a dream last night that I was, this is so weird. And I was at a comedy club and Bill Burr came up and he goes, I'm only doing one joke.
That's all he has to do.
And it's because his bits are always so fresh in my mind. He did the Ebola joke where he goes, I know I probably shouldn't joke about it. The only thing I really know about Ebola really is that it makes you go to the fucking airport.
It's so funny.
He goes, you got Ebola. He goes, why can't you just go to the forest and bleed out with dignity?
Like a gentleman.
He goes, like a gentleman. That's exactly. In my dream, he didn't say gentleman. He said you go to the airport and you go.
Sit in the middle seat.
Yeah, I like the downgrade to a middle seat.
Yeah. I mean, listen. He's so economical with his words, and his attitude is so precise.
And he's comfortable with silence too. He takes good pauses, and it makes it
so good.
It creates tension in comedy, which is cool.
He's 10. He's a 10.
He's for sure 10. Chappelle's for sure 10.
But like, that's why people think they can get in the ring and do. No, you can't. You ever seen?
No, you can't.
You know that redheaded dude Scalabrini who used to play for the?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you ever see the series of one-on-one games that Scalabrini played with people who were like
on Sports Nation with Beatles? She used to play some of them. Yeah.
So there are these
where he would just school motherfuckers.
Scalabrini has been the 12th man on every bench he's ever fucking played. He
dropped a couple threes back in the day though.
But he'll see of playing time if you're up by 40 or down by 40.
Yeah.
So there's all these cats, playground guys who are just
Well, he would be hyped when he was on the Spurs and Pop would leave like 3 guys at home.
Hell yeah!
And he's like, dude, I'm starting in Sacramento tonight, baby.
With 4 other redheads that never get playing time. One from Argentina, which is weird. But
that's all right.
So he went and played these dudes.
Yeah. Who thought they could ball?
Fucking wiped the floor with them. Professional athletes.
It's like that pros versus Joes stuff. Like,
and those guys were 50.
They put back in the day, they put like Bob Sapp in like an MMA thing like that. And Bob Sapp was never a good martial artist. He was
Tell
just
everybody with the size of that person.
Bob Sapp was like 400 pounds of beef with arms and legs.
Fought in Japan, right?
Fought in mainly in Pride, Japan, yeah. And he was an ex-NFL player. And Sarah and I met him. She did a movie in Japan. And she was like, what position did you play? He goes, ass back. And so I go, dude, what? Ass back? He goes, yeah, every time I got up, the coach said, Bob, get your ass back on that bench. But he made a career in Japan fighting. He was so strong he could hurt people, but he didn't have the techniques because he didn't grow up doing martial arts, and he didn't like getting hit in the face like Brock Lesnar.
If you watch those videos, when he gets caught good, he backs up.
Yeah, and he backs up quickly, and he starts looking for a way out. A lot of people, most people are like that. It's called being a human being. But how did we get on Bob's? Oh, so anyway, it was pros versus Joes. And they put these guys who thought they were tough, and they said, you have to last a round against Bob Sapp. And all 3 guys are like, they see him and they're like, fuck. Yeah. And one guy's like, yeah, man, but I can fight. Like, I know what's going on. I'm just going to keep my jab out there and keep him away from me. That guy lasted less than 20 seconds.
Because he probably walked through his jab.
Dude, walked through his jab? The guy froze, like he didn't even throw a jab. It was like from 8 feet away, and then Bob Sapp just walked him down, and then just boom, and they have headgears on, and then they stop the fight before the guy gets genuinely hurt. But nobody was going to
just hit him on top of the head like a cartoon. Do you know what I mean? Just like, boom.
Exactly. Bang. For real though. No, but it might actually happen if he did that.
Yeah, those were my favorite cartoon punches. And you know when the bump would grow out of the top of the head?
And sometimes they'd hammer it back in.
Old school. I hate that we missed the fucking lump out of the head.
Old school cartoons taught the best life lessons. You said you learned 2 for 1.
Yes.
And 1 the hard way.
Well, listen, man. You know, from hanging out with you, the balance between being a nice guy, which you are a nice guy, but also being a guy who's like, I'm not going to take advantage of.
Yeah.
So that's been a tough.
By the way, I'm not always great at that. Sometimes I fuck that up.
I
too.
know, but we all do. But
I've been taking advantage of.
it's something that I have been working on for me, especially as I have watched how you kind of manipulate your way around this town
Okay.
and the people in this town. And so last week, I told you all that shit that happened with my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those of you guys who don't know, I found out that homeowners insurance, they're out to scam you, and the mortgage company. So what happened was I finally wrestled money out of my insurance company.
Physically.
Wrestled money out of my insurance company. They sent me a check that had my name on it, Beth's name on it, and the mortgage company's name on it. And I was like, what's the deal? And they said, you got to get the mortgage company to endorse it too. And I said, if I endorse this check and Beth and I endorse it and we send it to them, they're never sending us that money back. They're our mortgage company. We owe them a lot of money. Why would they be in the business of sending me money? And they're like, no, it happens all the time. I'm like, this is janky.
Yeah, it sounds shady as fuck.
So I call my dude. He's like, yeah, man, that's what they're all doing now. It's shady as fuck. He said, but what's happening is the mortgage companies, under the guise of making sure that everybody's getting paid correctly, are taking everybody's money and putting it in an account and investing and making money off your money and holding on to it until the very, 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 even past the very last, where you have to start spending your own money. And I'm like, that's what's happening.
Yo, man, there were like, maybe still, but there are professional sports teams that would not pay their athletes
Holding on to make money off
at the
money.
beginning of the month. They would wait till the end of the month to do that. That's crazy.
So they're holding on. He was like, and look, they're going to give it to you in increments. They're going to give it to you 20%.
like
here.
you won the lotto?
Yeah.
You can get 500 for the next 3 years.
So, and this is not that much money, but fuck it if I'm coming out of my pocket. That's why I pay for insurance.
Yeah.
So if something happens,
It's oh fuck money.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm not coming out of my pocket. This is not how system was set up.
That or insurance is going to be free.
Yeah, either way, I'm good with one of those two. Yeah. So I call this Shell Point. I call this place. It doesn't matter. I call this.
Don't say it.
Yeah, I call this place. And first time I'm pretty nice. And they tell me what I need to do. They say, hey, send the check in, overnight it. And I told them my concerns. Guys, I send a check to you that I've endorsed. What's the incentive for you to send my money back? Why can't I send it to you, have you endorse it, and send it back? They're like, no. That's just not how we do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I call my guy again. He goes, look, you don't have to endorse it, but you're never, 100% never getting the money if you don't endorse it and send it to them. They're not going to endorse it and send it back. 100% chance. So I send it in. They say, overnight it. We will send it back. We'll review the case. It's not, it's all set. You have all the paperwork we need. Overnight it. We'll send it back in 3 days. 10 days later, I call. I'm like, what's the deal? Nothing. This is the second time I call. Nice. They go, wait,
You didn't call them after 3 days?
I didn't call them after 3 days because after 3 days, I said, okay, so maybe they put it in the mail after 3 days because they said they weren't going to overnight it back. And if they're sending it whatever ground, 3 to 5 business days, it ended up being about 10 days. So I was like, okay. I call them. What's the deal? Oh, this is the, it had to go to a different department. This is the insurance department. It needs to go to the drafts department. Cool. How long are we talking about? Well, let me see what the problem is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it should be there. Drafts department. Okay. Nothing. I've now made 3 other phone calls where I'm getting progressively a little more upset. But
Say the name of the company.
Okay.
You've convinced me.
Shell Point Mortgage.
Fuck you guys.
So then
Running a shell game on you, dog.
they 100%. So
Find the
then
queen. Find the queen.
they're coming up with different excuses every time. But every time I'm
Drafts
thinking to
department.
myself,
Insurance department. Yeah, I just want the mortgage department. You gotta find the mortgage queen. Find the mortgage queen.
every time I'm like, okay, I've always lived by the kill 'em with kindness. Kill 'em with kindness. We get to this dude.
My godfather's always lived by kill them.
Killed him. We get to this dude. And and this is, I'll tell you what the lesson is I learned afterwards. We get to this dude who said, yeah, man, I don't know why these guys have been telling you all this stuff. It actually says here, you don't have all the paperwork you need. And I said, what? And I said, you can go back and listen to all the phone calls. They're all taped. I know they're all taped.
Yeah.
Every time I said, do I have everything I need? And every time you guys told me I did. And he goes, yeah, but it says here that your mortgage, I don't know why. Now we need from the contractors. So that means I need from the people who are coming to fix the house. I need a signed contract from each one of them saying they're going to do the work. I need a copy of their insurance. I need a copy of their W-9 and one other copy something else.
Wow, man.
From all of them. And I was like,
y'all are running a straight scam up at.
And I said,
this is every insurance company.
I go,
by the way.
but tell me something. Why? He goes, yeah, that actually, it seems that your case just went from moderate to mediate or whatever, medium, basically is the easy way to put it.
Fuck you, I think.
We're trying to fuck you, but that just happened. I don't know when that happened, and somebody should have called you. I'm like, dude, we're 2 months in. We're 2 months in. And I went off on this dude like I've never gone off on anyone in my life. Freddie, when I say I yelled, my neighbor called the house
to see if you were okay.
to see if Beth was okay.
They don't know you very well.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I went, and every time he tried to talk, and I don't swear at people like this, and I was like, don't you fucking say a thing until I'm done telling you what is happening right here. And I said, I forget what his name is. I go, listen, and just so you know, I'm not yelling at you, but I'm telling you, you work for crooks. You work for people who are treating me like a child. You're telling me when I can have my money? I don't understand. Is this my allowance? What the fuck is happening?
You're gonna dish it out when you see fit? Nah, motherfucker, you owe me.
I go off.
That's like a loan shark going like, wait, you're gonna tell me when you're gonna pay?
Yeah.
That's my money.
That's my money, man.
I said every Friday with 2 points. You should put a VIG on it.
Guess what came in the mail today? Overnight. The check.
They stop fucking around. People will fuck with you as long as they believe they can.
Which is the exact lesson I learned. And I started to look back at my time here in this town. And I look back at even my Controlled Chaos show and my CMT show, where I would have people I know cancel on me last minute. And I started to think, why? Why? Because they know me. And they know I'm going to be like, don't worry, dude, I'll figure it out. They know that if they need, not that they don't like me, not that they don't respect me, but it's the path of least resistance to say to Josh, well, actually, we can get by with not servicing him right now because he's a good dude. We need to take care of the fucking squeaky wheels.
Yeah.
And it's been happening to me over and over and over. And this taught me, I learned 2 lessons. This taught me I got to be more of a squeaky wheel. Not that I got to be an asshole, but
You squeak when necessary.
Yeah.
When something's fucked up.
yeah, yep, and even to my friends in a respectful way. But be like, so there are 2 people on Chaos that I just won't call the book again.
Look, I had people back then. Everyone has friends. I always look at it like this. You have friends that'll pick you up from the airport and friends that won't.
Yeah.
Right? You have those friends they say, oh yeah, and then they cancel on you and you're fucked.
Yep.
And you have friends that are always there.
Yep.
You always have more friends that won't pick you up than friends that will. And eventually, those people start to go by the wayside, and at a certain point, you just have the airport squad. But that's human beings, man. Like,
But it's such a good lesson.
we call
to
it
learn.
flaking, right?
Yeah.
And that sort of excuses it. But that was always something that I was very uncomfortable with because I just was raised differently. But it is a town of dreamers, a town of desperation, and a town of talent. And 2 of the 3 of those personality traits are going to dictate 99% of the choices that people out here make. All that said, you and I are still in the people-pleasing business. We always have to think about that. But if somebody's fucking you up, like there's a whole movement out there now that is very like, ignore bullies. And, don't feed into them. And I've always been like, I see what you're saying, but that doesn't work. Like, don't let them know your feelings are hurt. Don't be like, why would you say that? But you can tell somebody to get fucked if they're being a scumbag. And you're not feeding them. You're telling them, get fucked. And if they want to eat that dick, let them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always been of the belief, and this is probably a 50-50 thing, where if someone pushes, I don't push back. I just knock them out. Like, that's just, if you're willing to go that far, then I know you're willing to go further, so let's just end this now. And I agree with that philosophy verbally, physically, fucking mathematically.
Yeah.
When I get angry at me, I can't do algebra. And then I don't have to do it anymore.
I smashed the calculator.
Sometimes you gotta go Hulk, man. Sometimes you gotta go Hulk.
Well,
Everyone has a little bit of Hulk in him.
Here's the other thing that I realized through that. You ready?
Yeah. Whoa, I got like way on the mic there. Yeah.
So in the past, I would complain about these people. Okay.
Where did that get you?
Here's what I learned. When I complained, and when I take it to this business about things that have happened to me or haven't happened or things that got fucked up, when I complain, you turn yourself into the victim. And the victim mentality is super powerful. You get sucked into that very easily. It's
Hard to make your dreams come true when you're constantly thinking about how woe it is and it's just gonna get fucked anyway.
You're also putting all of your energy on other people. When you're complaining, I'm putting my energy on them. I'm taking the energy off of myself in what I do, and I'm putting it onto them. And I'm wasting, in the past, would have wasted too much time in my own brain complaining about other people and what the fuck they're doing and how they're reacting to me, as opposed to just saying, you know what, I can't control that shit. And it takes away from what I do. And when you give yourself a victim mentality in life, it's an easy out. You're giving yourself an easy out, and I'm not going to do that anymore.
That is awesome. There is a show that we talked about almost a year ago called Alone.
Yeah.
And the type of person you're describing is one of the contestants on the show. And I talked to my daughter about that. We watched the show together. My daughter's 8. She's heard curse words. They bleep them out. It's fine. But to me, it shows the difference in personality, who can succeed and who can't. There's a guy named Larry, and he is very external with his speed bumps in life. It's always, why? Why are you doing this? And it's either God, please God, just help me catch a fish. Or it's Mongolia, it's so windy. And he literally goes, stop blowing, just chill the fuck out. If he beats something, it's always external, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll see other characters. There's a guy, and they're in like the final 5 or 4 now. His name's Britt, and he internalizes everything. So when things aren't going well, he goes, I just failed. I let that fish go, and I saw a deer and didn't have my bow. I have to do better tomorrow. Whereas Larry would be like, oh, you fucking fish, just stay on the fucking hook. And you see how much harder it is for him to survive. And he doesn't get to enjoy anything. And when he does, it's external too. I'm alive, Mongolia! And then that feeling goes, because it's like a drug. And he's relying on the external for satisfaction, for health, for self-confirmation, for everything. Whereas when you see the people who are more focused on self and they go inward instead of outward, they have a much better experience. They're like, oh my God, look at that eagle right there. That's so crazy. He can fly wherever he wants. I'm stuck here. And they have these existential experiences because they're in the moment.
Yeah.
And they blame themselves when things go wrong. They go, ah, fuck. Which is what you're saying. Like, yo, man, I know I can't trust this person to show up. So why am I putting it out there? I know these people will. I'm going to focus on these people. And that's the kind of mentality that like Joe Rogan talks about this a lot, like a winner's mentality, right? And focusing your energies on yourself and that kind of stuff. And he's a guy who I always have, I told you about, I used to write his sets down at the fucking Laugh Factory. I was like a nerd comedy fanboy. But that was what I loved. And his philosophies, he's experienced a lot, he's seen a lot, and he's met every kind of human on earth. Billionaires to broke, drug addict, like fucked up homeless motherfuckers, and everyone in between. And he's seen what's worked and failed with all of them. So when guys like that, when people like that speak about shit, they usually are coming from a place of experience. Kind of like when all these basketball players were saying where LeBron's son was going to play ball, and your boy told you where he was going to play.
You did.
And they announced today where he's going. Yeah.
You did.
So
You did.
when I say that shit, baby, just know it's real. What else you want to talk about?
Now there's a couple.
We're almost out of time.
We're almost out of time. So there's 2 ways we can bring this home.
We got to talk about this weekend.
We're gonna talk about this weekend. We could also, we could either do a Mount Rushmore, or I had some people ask us, have we forgotten about 15 items or less?
I'm not prepped to talk about 15 or less, but for the
We'll do it
August
this weekend
11th show,
We'll do it this weekend.
yeah, we'll do 15 minutes on 15 items or less.
That's this weekend in Boston. It's Freddie and I. It's our very first live podcast.
And we might even pull out a versus.
I think so. We might, depending on who else is at the con. We have a surprise guest, maybe.
Maybe. This is for the Boston Fan Con. If you don't have tickets yet, get them, because when they sort of not do their announcement, but the day of, they're gonna have a direct link there from the people that are coming to do like photographs and autographs and stuff with me, and those tickets will go fucking quick on the day. So please,
Yeah, I will get your tickets.
yeah, please go get your tickets now.
Can you give me a pass to that so I can come
Oh
out?
yeah, I have a +1. You can go to any of the stuff you want.
Yeah. I'm flying in Friday.
You should buy a cool mask while you're there, from like a creator, like someone who makes cool shit.
Do they sell them at the con?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
You know what I really want? I want a mask and a cape. You know what I just...
Bro, you can get a cape. Shit, I got plenty if
I
you
like
really need them. I just don't want you to have to travel with it. I want you to get something you can like dig and then give to somebody if you don't want to fly
maybe my cape,
home.
I walk on the plane with a cape and it turns into a blanket.
I don't want you walking on a plane with anything that's going to get you thrown off the plane, because I really don't want to do the show solo,
Not only that, like,
because I'm not ready for that shit.
I'm gonna be flying with enough weed. I don't need to be carrying
Don't say that.
wearing a cape. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Like, you know who we should search? Who? The dude with the fucking
Guy with the
cape?
fucking cape, whose eyes are fucking bloodshot, and my dog's like I can't even hold on to him. That guy. Let's search that guy.
Yeah, old Dr. Strange over there.
I'll be so pissed if you got arrested and I had to be on the show. I'd be so mad, dude. Like that.
I told you what happened when TSA took my weed out of the bag.
What? No.
Okay. At LAX, the woman, TSA takes the edibles out of my bag, and because they were next to my almonds. Almonds, just so you know, can look like a bomb. They're so dense, they don't go through. It looks like a
Don't
mask.
travel with almonds.
Just so you know, not unless you have, or at least don't put your drugs next to your almonds. So,
Spit all over your
yeah,
microphone, bro. I'm so sorry.
That's what I would do. But she takes them out and she was like, "Do you want to talk about these?" And I said, "Only if you do." And she goes, "You plan on bringing them on the plane?" And I said, "I can eat them all right here if you need me to." Like, I'm a team player, you know what I mean?
You're the best, dude. I love you.
Just have somebody wake me up when I get to where I'm going. But if you don't want me to take them on the plane, I'll eat them right in front of you right now. And she was like, "Get out of here." I'm like, "That's what I was hoping you'd say. See you later." They don't want that shit
Did she let you go?
on the plane with my weed.
That's cool, man. That's a nice lady.
Yeah, because she knows.
People, look, if you were carrying something like bad,
Coke.
yeah,
I wasn't
or
Coke
a
on a
weapon,
plane.
like, but if it's something that's gonna chill you the fuck out, like, people need to be cool on
You
that.
know how much.
You know,
the flight-
how, I'm not telling you how to live. I just wish people would.
You know how much the flight attendants, and I know there are flight attendants who listen to this. Please chime in. How great would your job be if everybody on the plane was high? I mean,
If we ever do another
you would
election,
be out of flags by aisle 10.
if we ever do another king election,
Yeah.
I'm stealing that and I'm putting that on my platform,
Everybody smokes weed on every plane?
and I will get every flight. That's not a lot of votes, but I'll get every flight attendant vote.
Yeah,
In the
I've
world.
no, because they would rather have no kids. We're
I
still
might-
on a no kids airplane.
I might adopt that rule. You don't know?
You gonna do it with adopted kids? No adopted kids?
No, man.
Oh no, adopted rule. I think you said the adoption
I think
rule.
adopted kids have it rough enough. No adopted kids can fly. I was just.
No,
You just told everybody you're a really nice guy, Freddie.
Except he hates the adopted kids.
You really want to take ice to the next level, huh? Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to separate more people from loving situations. Thanks, Josh.
Okay,
Can't wait to work with you this weekend.
here we go. Mount Rushmore, ready?
What?
4 laws or rules you would put into effect right now if you could.
Number 1, I'll start.
Yep.
Left lane's Autobahn lane, no speed
Dude,
limit.
that was my number 1 too.
Boom!
Not even close. Not and. let me-
And if you fuck
Can I
up
put
and
an
you're too
addendum on
slow,
there?
that's on you.
Can I put it like not a ticket. You get arrested. Arrested
If you're too slow.
if you're too slow.
Yeah.
Day in jail. You know why?
I like that.
You are slowing down the entire fucking freeway. You are slowing down the. And here's my thing: when people get
It's
me like,
a ton of traffic.
here's the thing: you people are like, well, why don't you slow down? Why don't you speed the fuck up? It's just like when my wife says, "Why don't you put the seat down? Why don't you lift it up?" It's easier to put it down than it is to lift it up. Lift that shit up when you're done. Why I gotta put it down? Why don't you lift that motherfucker up? God damn. I gotta bend over to lift it up. All you gotta do is tap it with your foot to drop it.
Oh, you have
lift
to
that shit up.
Lift it up.
Yeah, why I gotta put it down? There's two of us. I go to the
That
bathroom more than you
is
do.
a great anti-movement movement.
Yeah, man. Lift it up.
That's hysterical.
Okay, so my first rule?
You're taking that one too.
Yeah, that'd be my first rule too. Left hand leg.
All right, go with your number 2 then. You probably already have it.
Oh, you know I do.
Oh, I think I have one too. Go ahead.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I know mine.
Okay. All right. Here's my number 2 law, and it also is a drive. It's a driving / parking. Is that all right?
Yeah.
If you park and you think your car is so nice that you take up 2 spots,
Tow truck. Right away.
automatic.
Impounded.
Impounded.
Couldn't agree more. Won't make my list, but I couldn't agree more, and I would vote for that law.
How much do you just? Every
You
time I
put
see
that
one
on
of
the
those,
bill?
I'm like, oh.
Prop 66. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Yeah, and it's always somebody who thinks their car is too nice, and I'm like, yo, bro, that is.
Yeah, no, I'm with that.
Yeah.
All right, my rule number 2, school doesn't fucking start till 9 o'clock in the morning. Name one thing that you ever learned in first period, or better yet, tell me one class you had in first period.
No,
I couldn't even tell you
No.
what my first period class was.
Yeah.
Straight up, because I was unconscious still. So 9 a.m. school. I know that fucks with parents getting their kids to school. We'll work that shit out later.
Okay, I got one right here. Last weekend of every month is a long weekend. I think. Listen, here we need a holiday.
We need more
The
vacation days?
Yeah, the last Friday of every month is. Last Friday of every month, everybody gets off. And you know what? Because you know what I think, Freddie? I truly believe this. I think people live to work. And I think we've forgotten how to just fucking let our shoulders down and have a good time. The last Friday of every month.
Yes, but I don't know if that's the right way to go about it. But it's your list.
Yeah, so, but that's the goal of that.
You were getting all mad at me. You're like, hey, I'm about to make a new law.
Yeah.
Freddie law. Don't get all mad.
No, what my question was going to be like, if that is not the way to do it, what do you feel like is a way? Because I really feel like this society, America in particular, everybody's just so like, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? Instead of just
I
enjoying.
think that bubble needs to blow up naturally. I don't think it's something you can
Force.
restrict and force. I don't think so. But here's the law that I would enforce.
All right.
My third law, and this is my favorite law. If you're going to be on social media,
Mm-hmm.
the device that you use, if it's your phone or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
is public domain. So your phone number, if you're gonna tweet some hate bullshit and you're gonna attack kids that like this or like that, and you're gonna smash them, or someone lost somebody and they're famous and you hate them, so you're gonna go, ha ha, you lost your whatever and all that stuff, I have your number.
I like that.
And that will be, and no eggs. It has to be your picture, your face, your number. And that would put more accountability on the things people tweet. And then if somebody wants to tweet at Tim Ginn Jr., I think was his name, for the San Francisco 49ers, when he dropped a kickoff and they said, I hope your daughter gets cancer and dies. Ted Ginn?
Yeah.
I hope your daughter gets cancer and die. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Then he can go right to your house and he can ring your doorbell.
Yeah.
And your mom can answer the door and he can say, can I please speak with your son, Jeffrey? And she'll say, yes, who can I ask is here? It's Tim Ginn Jr. or whatever, Ted Ginn Jr. And then this young man can come to the door and he can be held accountable for that disgusting, horrible shit that came out of his mouth to a man that can physically separate him from the rest of his body.
I love that.
And that's my third rule.
Legal weed. To me, there's no, it's the legal weed. Weed stores, Weed
So
bar,
all four, you're Mount Rushmore.
Weed bars. Listen, you know I want to open up the Weed Planet Hollywood, right?
That's a great idea. I never heard that. No.
Oh, yeah, I really want to open, but I just don't know. They haven't done like weed, like bars. But I've always wanted to open up like weed stores, but with a
With
celebrity.
like a prosciutto section.
Yeah, exactly.
With an Italian deli on the side.
Yeah.
I'm down with
some
that.
snacks.
Let me get some mortadella and let me
How
get
great would it be if you went to your favorite restaurant, right?
right.
And
Got
they
a
had-
wheel of brie.
They had the menu. They had the vegan menu side, which they have. You know, they have
Vegan.
vegan options because everybody has vegan options, vegetarian options, but they also had weed
Vegetarian.
options. You know what I mean? How they have the options, gluten-free options.
Isn't weed a vegetable?
I mean, it's vegetation.
I don't fuck with vegan stuff.
You know
But
what?
the rest of the rule's good.
Can I tell you, low-key, who bothers me more than almost anybody?
Vegans.
No, but like when I say somebody, like I said to somebody over the weekend, because they were talking about pineapple on the pizza, and I said, hey,
You got such beef.
I said nobody wants fruit on their pizza, and you know what the guy said?
Tomatoes are fruit.
Everybody hates you. Just so you know, hey, tomatoes a fruit guy. Everybody fucking hates you. Look, we all know.
Wait,
tomatoes,
isn't olives are fruit? I put olives on my
Maybe.
pizza.
Maybe everybody knows tomatoes are fruit, but it's not a fruit. But we know it's a fruit, but fuck you. It's not a fucking fruit.
But it is.
It's not. Nobody picks up a fucking tomato. It's not a fruit.
I do.
No, you know what it's like? It's like the person who's
I used
like,
to pick up tomatoes, I'll sprinkle salt on it and just eat it.
it's the person who at 12:30 at night say, hey, you know, calls 11:30 yesterday. Those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been drunk since yesterday. Fuck you. You also think tomatoes are fruit guy. Eat dicks.
You're
Those
so
people.
weird, dude. All right.
Legal weed. Sorry.
My last law
Yeah.
goes back to driving as well, but it's not parking. It's the proper age to be allowed to drive.
Oh.
And a lot of kids are going to get pissed at me, but if you're not old enough to go to war, you ain't old enough to operate an automobile, so 18 would become the legal driving age. I would kind of do the Germany route. So you have to be 18 there. If you fail any portion of the test, written or driving, or they put you in emergency situations, spins, you only have so many rotations. Oh yeah, they don't fuck around because they have an Autobahn with no speed limit. So their drivers are dope. If you fail any part of the test, you can't take it again for a fucking year. You got a year to think about how fucking useless you are because you don't even know how to operate a machine that can fucking kill the people around you. A year
You know
to
what I
work
would
that
do?
shit out. So that's what I would do. Same law.
I want to research the amount of accidents on the Autobahn. Is it safer?
It's much safer. When they do have an accident, it is fatality.
Right.
But the amount of accidents is crazy, and they actually have numbers that are published. I won't say them because I don't know them off the top of my
Right.
head. But it's not significantly, way less than our numbers.
Was that a Josh Wolf?
No, that would have been a ton of dread. But yeah, so that's my final rule. That's our Mount Rushmore.
Tell everybody what you want to tell everybody that you have to sell.
Come play with us on Saturday at Laugh Boston or Boston Laugh.
Laugh Boston.
At Laugh Boston, that's in Boston.
August
We're going to
11th.
do our first show August 11th. If you're a Boston fan con, get your ass some tickets and even wear some cosplay and go in. Ain't nobody going to fuck with you because I got your fucking back. I might even be in cosplay.
Me too, man. Comedian.
So check that out. What you got?
I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come dressed as Fred from Scooby Doo. I have an ascot at my house.
All right.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna come dressed as Fred.
Get a blonde wig.
I'm thinking about dyeing my hair. All right. ComedianJoshWolf.com for tour dates. August 11th in Boston. The following week, I, for the first time in probably 10 years, will be in a car driving around doing comedy in Michigan. I haven't done a date where I go from town to town to town to town. So I'm in Michigan a bunch in August. I'm also in Orlando the last week of August. I haven't been there since we were there for that con, for the Star Wars. And then Chicago first week of September.
Dyeing his hair.
ComedianJoshWolf.com for all tour dates. Guys, download, rate, subscribe to Prinze and the Wolf. Also, our YouTube channel. Friend's YouTube
GEGGHEAD.
channel.
With a
That's-
G. Why are you going to dye your hair?
I'm
You
not
don't
dyeing
need
my
to.
hair. I'm not dyeing my
Friends in the
hair. Get what was that? Egghead.
with a G.
Good.
Just say the last words.
Friend.
Dye your hair.
I'm not. I've always wanted to dye it like a different color though.